All right, all right, all right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Wednesday evening Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody had an awesome day today. We're going to dive in. So as always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage as you guys always do. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. So we had a nice day today, right? We had the Bank of Canada come in, talk about interest rates. So we'll take a look at those Canadian pairs, take a look at a couple of dollar pairs, and we will take a look at the euros, right? Prepare for tomorrow and the ECB as they come to the microphone. All right. So let's hop over to trade and economics really quickly. So trade and economics, right? Canada hikes main rate by only 50 basis points. The expectation was 75. So surprised the market a little bit, right? Overnight rate by 50 basis points. We brought it to 3.75, less than the expectation of a more aggressive 75 basis point increase, right? As signs are emerging that high interest rates may put the economy into a recession, right? Still, the borrowing costs were pushed to the highest rate since 2008, and policymakers said future rate hikes would be impacted by assessment of how tighter policy was working to ease inflation. So Governor Tiffin Malcolm stated that they do anticipate increasing rates in the future. However, it will be based on data. But what they just thought would be best was to slow down a little bit. And instead of making a very large rate hike, they just wanted to do a large rate hike. So they tried to give it still more of a hawkish spin. However, it was a pretty dovish conversation. Okay. They will increase rates in the future. They did say that. They believe they will have to, but those interest rate increases could start to slow down even more than we saw this month. Okay, so that was the big news from today. We'll take a look at the Canadian pairs to see how that impacted the market. Other news, U.S. futures edge up despite tech woes. You had some major tech companies come out with some pretty dovish earnings, right? Facebook declined by 20%. And they projected a pretty bleak fourth quarter. Google's parent company Alphabet and Microsoft also had some pretty slow and lower than expected earnings for the third quarter. And they also had fourth quarter projections that were on the downside, right? But despite all of that, futures and your stock market got a boost, right? There's still an expectation that the Federal Reserve will turn less aggressive, right, later this year to keep market supported, right? People are expecting that to occur. However, you have some Fed members that are saying, yeah, we may need to slow down, but overall, the sentiment is still the Fed is going to be hawkish, and they won't stop being hawkish until they see inflation decrease and decrease consistently, right? So the expectation is still for the Fed to be hawkish. However, you have that sentiment out there that they will start to slow down. So we shall see how things go for the dollar, and we'll take a look at where the dollar sits as well. Okay. So that is that one. Give me 1 second. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it from an announcement perspective. Benny, good evening, bro.
What's going on, Ryan? Good evening, everybody.
Man. Not too much, man. We've been on the move today. How's everything with you?
I know. Same thing, man. Crazy busy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Did you read anything else or get any other insights from the statement or the press conference after the Bank of Canada did their thing?
No, man. No, I didn't. I don't know. All this back and forth. You just covered it. I mean, it's like everybody wants to play this chess match with the Fed. It's like, like I mean, they haven't seen the consistent data for them to make a decision, different than what they're doing, and we saw what just happened with Australia. They said, what was their
Yeah.
CPI came in, right? So,
Yeah.
they've been talking, their rhetoric has been, our pace has been pretty aggressive, so moving forward, we're looking at potentially slow the pace, of hikes. But then look what just happened with the data that just came out.
in hot.
All right. So I think, at the most, they're all going to stay data dependent. Moving forward, we haven't seen a series of data sets yet, to at least from my perspective, that would cause the Feds to think twice. And sometimes I just think some of those, like the Wall Street Journal report, things like that people keep talking about, what some of the opinions are, some of the members. Sometimes I think they leak that stuff out on purpose.
I get that feeling. I get that feeling too.
Yeah. And to move the market in a certain direction, but I mean, I'm still strong in the dollar. Will it correct? Yes, but overall, I'm still, the dollar is the major player. We got the ECB tomorrow, right?
ECB tomorrow, yes, sir.
Right. So expected 75 basis points.
Yep.
So I guess the rhetoric there, because that's already getting priced in. We see that, but I guess what I'm gonna listen out for is if Lagarde, if she starts bringing up that quantitative tightening subject.
Yeah.
That's probably going to put the euro through the roof, because that's going to show signs of more aggressiveness moving forward. But we'll see if she goes in that direction, or if she leaves that, off the table for tomorrow. So it'll be quite interesting.
Real quick, in a brief synopsis, can you break down for some of our new folks quantitative tightening and what that means?
The raising the interest rates, selling, like, so your central banks all have books, right? They have books, they have assets on the books, so they may go in and they may buy bonds and things like that. Okay, so when they make, just simple examples. So for example, they might go buy an asset like bonds, mortgage-backed securities, and things like that. What that does is when they make those purchases, that floods money into the market, right? So in exchange for them taking on those bonds, they're going to in exchange give money to the banks, right? So give money to the banks take that money. Okay, in exchange, they build out what? Loans, mortgages, things like that with that money, right? So now you've got this influx of money circulating. Well, when they want to start tightening, they want to start closing off some of their books. What they're going to do is, that's quantitative tightening, right? They'll start cashing in some of that stuff. So when they exchange that, right? When they exchange whatever that asset is, and they empty their books, right? Or start to release on their books, then that causes that money to get pulled back out of circulation, right? Very simple example. But in essence, that's what it is. So for one, they're trying to put the squeeze on with raising rates, okay? So that's what they talk about, that pain, raising rates to make money more expensive to borrow. So then, right, the psychology of people is, okay, well, I'm going to spend less. The other thing they have is, you know what? There's going to be less money circulating. So we're going to pull some of that money out of the system that's been circulating because of what? Quantitative easing, when they were printing money and flooding the banks and buying those assets so that money can get pushed into the system. So it's like, okay, now it's time for us to take some of that money back. And that's exactly what they may be looking to do, right? So the Fed's already started that. Some countries started that a long time ago. But then we have some laggards, right? The euro, of course, Japan, who knows, what they're going to do in the long run. But that's what we're talking about. So it's like, hey, we gotta slow the flow of money. One, we raise rates. Okay, put that pressure on, it becomes more expensive. And then you look at tightening, because what the issue is right now, Okay, and you can see the market is still trying to push through it, right? So they're like, okay, well, we're raising rates, making money more expensive to borrow. So it's more expensive to borrow, but people right now, the markets are still willing to pay that rate. Okay, so it's more expensive, but right now you don't have a liquidity issue. Okay, you guys follow me on that? So you can get the money, it's just more expensive to borrow. When you really start seeing the pain points is when you start to have a lack of liquidity and things start to dry up. That's when you're gonna start to see, some things start to buckle a bit, right? And those recessionary fears coming true. So we're not to that point. So they're just pulling that first lever. Hey, let's raise the rates, right? Kind of discourage that spending. Now it's like, all right, well, we're gonna have to increase the tightening, and now that's gonna decrease the liquidity in the overall market. So yes, I want to borrow, I want to expand as a company or corporation. I want to invest in the stock market, but wow, there's no liquidity there. There's no liquidity there, right? So that's just the process that they're going through right now. It's a give and take. It's a give and take, but somehow they've got to bring that inflation under control. The market's red hot, and we know as citizens that's like paying an extra tax, right? When you get hit with inflation, you get nailed. So they've got to do something to get it under control because it's not sustainable. The other issue is that my opinion from what I'm seeing is that typically these mechanisms you will start to see things shift a lot faster than what they're doing. What I think is going on in the market and the bets that some people are making is that, well, we've seen it before, like what happened with the last market crash, right? And then what happened with COVID is just like, oh, well, we're going to continue to take risks because if everything hits the fan, we're going to get propped up by the Federal Reserve anyway, right? Because that's what they did. When the market crashed, we printed money, right? To avoid, the ultimate downturn. Well, COVID hit, what do? We printed money, right? So they're just like, well, they're going to continue to provide a floor. We're just going to keep on pushing. So that's the give and take. And that's where things, because right now you would start, you typically, historically would start to see it. Now we're not in double digits in regards to rates yet or anything like that. But usually you would start, you would see a little bit of a stronger reaction in what you're seeing. It's like we get these dips and we get these concerns, and then the market's back up again. Here's another rally, and it's like at some point, that's going to cease, right? So my bet is when that liquidity starts to dry up, that's when you'll really start to see some things turn to the downside for a longer period of time. But that could be in 2023. Like you said, I'm not trying to fight the Fed, and I hope none of us are. I'm not trying to guess that out. I'm just going to trade what I see for now. So that's my 2 cents.
No, I appreciate that, and that's an interesting thought, man. About them being willing to fight through it, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that part plays out, and if they continue to press on, which this U.S. futures edge up despite tech woes, right? That's to Benny's point, right? They're continuing to press through it and continue to try to push that market to the upside, and continue to take those risks. So appreciate that, man. Over to the calendar. So this is that rate statement here. Came in 25 basis points short. And so tomorrow, right, we got ECB coming in at 8:15, right? We have advanced GDP quarter over quarter for the dollar coming in at 8:30. That ECB press conference at 8:45, right? We got core durable goods orders. Be interesting to see. And then tomorrow night, we got the Bank of Japan rate statement. All right. So tomorrow should be another fun-filled day when it comes to announcements and news, and we'll see how much the Bank of Japan doubles down on their stance, right? So that's tomorrow, and then on Friday, Bank of Japan press conference will be early in the morning. And then you got GDP for Canada and core PCE for the United States, right? So slower a little bit on Friday. Okay. So that's fundamentals. Any questions on the fundamental side of things? No? All right. Appreciate it. All right, cool deal. So let's take a look real quick at the dollar index. See where the dollar is. Then we'll take a look at I want to take a look at the Canadian dollar pairs. We'll pop back and take a look at oil. That crown pattern is playing out. And then we'll take a look at those euros. So on the 4-hour time frame, we've been watching this dollar, right? We got a 382, but we pushed up into the zone, not able to get to the D extension, and we're pressing back down. So starting to press back below this previous monthly level. Okay. We got another 4-hour support level right here that we're pushing into. We got a daily support at here's at 13,000, 1212, right? So if we continue to press to the downside here, starting to get a little choppy, but if we get some more momentum to the downside, we could press into this daily support level here. Okay. If we bounce back to the daily, take a look at it. Let's take those out, right? It's that 80-20 scenario on the daily, okay? And we did, we said that, right? We did just barely close below that monthly support level, right? That was created here and will support there. Trying to close below it. We're getting some indecision right now. So we'll see throughout the day, with the night tonight, tomorrow, here in the United States, if this continues to press down back into this AB boundary. Okay, got this daily level support here that we'll have to break through, and then we got another level here at the 236 level at 13,000 if we break through the previous level. Okay, so 80-20 scenario on the DXY playing out, right? So we'll see if we get this continued push. If we do, those dollar crosses will push in the opposite direction. Okay, push in the opposite direction. So that's the DXY trying to break through that level. We'll see if we get some follow through there. Okay, then it'll just mean pullbacks on the others. So let's take a look at the dollar CAD real quick. So this dollar CAD daily time frame, we had this fresh AB boundary, right? Came right back down to the support level. And we got a reaction, okay, at 135, right? So it's a potential double bottom scenario here. So we want to see, do we get this double bottom to fill out, and do we get a pushback to the upside here? Okay. Now the DXY is pulling back, so there could be some back and forth there, and we could see a little bit of ranging happening in here. But if we stay above this 135 level, we could see this start to push to the upside with the weakness coming out of the Bank of Canada today. Okay. As we drop to the 4. Run my fib from the low, give us 2 perspectives on this potentially, right? So from the upside on the 4, we're right back into the 618 retracement zone. Okay. So if this double bottom fills out, right, 618 retracement, we could start to make our way higher, headed to the D extension here at 140, right, which is 498 pips to the upside. Okay, so we'll watch this to see if this fills out. We got a swing low already here on the 4-hour time frame. We'll see if we start to get some action back to the upside here, right? We could potentially come back and retest that level, but if this level holds, we'll look for price to push to the upside. Okay, so that's the 4 from the upside, right? Looking from that perspective. Now, to give us a little bit of confluence, right? What I'll do is I'll run a sub fib from the high. And look, right? Sub fib, new AB boundary was formed here, right? We could see this turn over, right? If this level holds, we'll see it push back to the upside. Okay, so that's a little confluence of this daily support level here. Okay, so we'll see if we get that follow through there. All right, so we'll take that back out. See that? Now as we get down to the 1 hour time frame. Okay. I believe we're going to run this fib off the high, but we'll double check. Nope. So similar look on the 1 hour that you had on the 4. Okay. 618 retracement level, didn't push through to get to the 786. Right now, we'll see if we get this push to the upside. Okay. So that's what we're looking at there on the dollar CAD. Potential move to the upside. If you want to run your sub fib off the high here, similar deal. Fresh AB boundary, looking for that move back to the upside there. Okay. So that's the dollar CAD, looking for that move to the upside. Okay. For an entry on this, if you didn't take it off the support level, look at it from a couple perspectives. The trend line running down, trend line coming down. Okay. Like so. Last trend line coming there. You can wait on your trend line break. Okay. One entry opportunity, got a sideways push here off of that support level. So you want to get a nice bullish break of the trend line here. Okay. That's one option. Okay. Pull those out. We talked about some of these entry techniques last night, right? Other option, right? You can use your cloud here on the 1 and wait for that cloud break, right? You know, you got this previous daily level here, right? So with this cloud break, you could also say, okay, I need a break above this 136,432 level. Okay. If I get a break above that and a break in my cloud with the cloud confirmations, right? That could be your entry opportunity. Okay. So that's another way to look at it. All right. The other, you can drop down to your 15-minute time frame, understanding where you are in the sequence. And you can look for those same things on the 15-minute time frame, trend line break or break of your cloud, right? You get a break of the cloud, get your lagging span to push through as well, and get a bullish twist with a TK crossover, right? So you still got some time here in the sideways push to see if you get those confirmations on this 15-minute time frame, right? Another entry technique, wait for those confirmations from the cloud, entry opportunity to the upside. Okay. Any questions on the dollar CAD? No? All right, cool deal. And then for our intraday traders, right? You can run your fibs on these lower time frames, like so. Okay. On the 15, you already got a 382 push there off that wick, but we'll see if we get a deeper push to the upside there. Okay. So that's on the 15. If you want to drop to your 5, come back. Take the cloud off. You want to go to your 5, right? And look at it from this perspective. Run your fib off the high. Bang, you had that push there. Price came back down. So that gave you a sideways push to back and forth through the press conference. So on this one, there's your AB boundary there coming back down to the downside, right? And you got the sideways push. So you want to look for that trend line break to the upside. Like so. Originally, your trend line would have come like this, right? Because the goal was get to as close to the lowest point as possible. Okay. So you got your trend line break. Price came back and retested your trend line here. Okay. Now we'll see if we get that follow through to the upside. Okay. That's the dollar CAD. Aussie CAD, right? We broke this one down last night too. Okay. We broke this one all the way down, all the way through. looking for those entry opportunities. And you got it, right? So here on the daily, we broke back above this previous daily support level, right? Push to the upside, strong bullish candle. Now what you could get is a pullback and a retest, and then see if we get a continuation up to this 89,107 level, right? That we talked about. Okay, so down on the 4, you got your push to your 382 on the 4. Okay, now we'll see if we get price to continue moving to the upside there, right? Now, if you're not in this, or if you're looking to add to your trade, thing you can do here on the 4 is run your fibs to the upside now. Okay, AB boundary, you had your pullback, the extension was achieved. Now we're waiting for a new fib to form. Okay, that new fib will look like that. So now if you get a pullback here, back into your sweet spot, 618 level, be your entry opportunity to play this to the upside to get to that 618 level on the 4, right? Into that 89,107, right? Potentially 89,652. Okay, so that's an opportunity waiting for price to pull back to then enter that to the upside there. Okay. Or if you're adding to your trade, this is how you would add to that trade. Wait for price to come back down into your sweet spot and then take the entry on it. If it doesn't come back down into your sweet spot, you don't take the trade. Okay, don't take the trade. All right, so that's on the 4 hour. Drop down to the 1. This is our look. We pushed into that 618 level, but we talked about last night. We get that deep retracement on the higher time frame, could take this A boundary out. Okay, take that A boundary out, right? So I'm going to run the trend lines how we had them last night so you guys can see, right, what that break looked like on the entry opportunity. Okay. We had our trend lines running like that, right? We had that consolidation moving through. Okay. So you got your break here. That was a strong bullish candle, gave you very little pullback. So you might not have had a clean opportunity enter off that, right? But that's your trend line break. Okay. If you ran a tighter trend line, it would have come like this, right? That's all that sideways movement there. Okay. But that's what it would have looked like. Trend line break there. Okay, that was yesterday afternoon. Last night when we were talking about it, price was down in the zone. Okay. Trend line break, pull back, price push to the upside. Okay. So now, like I said, waiting for a pullback there for potential entry or an opportunity to add to your trade to take that to the upside to around that 89,107 level. See here on your sub fib, right? Running those to the upside, this gives you that potential retracement opportunity, right? And if you wanted to play this retracement, right, back to retest the trend line, pull back in this zone, right? You could play this 80-20 scenario, shallow retracement, 118, 127, play the pullback, right? It's a counter trend trade opportunity. You guys follow me on that?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Questions on the Aussie CAD? Cool deal. Euro CAD. I'll catch the CAD Swiss and CAD yen in a second. This Euro CAD, right? Monthly time frame. We looked at this a long time ago. Came into the zone. Shallow retracement on the monthly, 118, 127. We're pushing to the upside, right? Still riding. Gave us a little wick here, a little pullback, right? Retested that candle. Now we're pushing to the upside still, right? Weekly time frame. Same deal. Shallow retracement, less than the 382. Push down into your 118, 127 zone. We got the reaction, we got the push. Now we're coming into some key levels here, 37,124, 38,084, right? We might see a little bit of stalling. We'll see how the ECB comes out tomorrow to see if we get a push potentially through these levels, right? Or if we start to get a little pullback action here, okay? So, but we're pushing into some key levels there. On the 4, similar deal, right? We didn't fully get down into this 118, 127 zone, but we had this shallow retracement, pushed down, broke that B boundary, and then we got the takeoff to the upside, right? So on the 4, you're coming into a 618 retracement level in line with these 2 key weekly resistance levels, okay? So we'll see if this 382 holds and we're able to push through those with this ECB conversation tomorrow, right? And get to that 618 level in these higher zones, okay? Okay. So that's on your daily. It's on your daily. Pushing to the upside. This blue line here is your 382 on the weekly time frame. 141. Okay. We'll see if we're able to break through these levels and start continue making those higher highs and higher lows. All right. And on your 4, this is where you sit. So I think I'll call the daily the 4-hour. I might have misspoke there, right? But this is your 4-hour. Very little retracement after this AB boundary formed. Pushed down into the 118 and 127 zone. We had the sideways movement. Wasn't able to get to the D extension. Pushed back to the upside. Okay. So now price is running to the upside. And we'll see how far we continue. Okay. We're coming into some key levels. So now as we get down to the 1, you starting to get some confluence here at these key levels, right? So in the 1-hour time frame, you got a D extension that's about to get hit, right? So we'll see if as that happens, right, do we get, or when we get that fresh AB boundary, right, wherever it chooses to form after that D extension, do we get a pullback? We get a pullback to retest this daily level and then give us that extension to the upside. Okay, so we'll wait to see tonight, tomorrow morning, see how this forms and see if we get a pullback going into that news, that rate statement, right? To give us that additional push to the upside and get to these higher levels. Okay, so we'll see if we get something like that to occur. Okay, but pushing to the upside nonetheless on this Euro CAD, right? Long-term destination is still quite a bit away at that 141 level. Okay, so we'll watch this one, see if we get a pullback in the morning. Okay. Questions on the Euro CAD?
No, sir.
Deal. CAD Swiss. Man, look at this. Got to that 382 level, daily resistance, starting to push down, right? Starting to get some pullback action happening. So we'll see if this pullback continues, right? Or if this is just a retracement to continue higher, okay? But we got to that daily 382 level. Now we want to see if we continue to stay below this daily level at 7304. Okay. Actually, what I'll do, I'm going to change this daily level to here. That previous daily level is broken, right? Pushed up. And this is our new daily resistance level right there. I'll take that down to my lower time frames. So now when you get to your 4, this is what this looks like. Right? On your 4, you got your 382. You ran into that daily level. Now we're getting a pullback. Now this could be just a temporary pullback for continuation to the upside here. We know Swiss franc is a safe haven currency. And if investors continue to have this bullish sentiment for whatever reason and continue wanting to take these risks that Benny talked about, right? We could see this particular pair continue moving to the upside, right? The capital won't be flowing into those safe havens. We could see a push in favor of the Canadian dollar if that is to continue, with capital moving into more of your commodity type currencies. Okay. So we'll watch this one to see. It's kind of in between right now. We've got a little pullback happening there on the 4. When we get down to the 1, we'll see if anything's setting up on this little pullback for potential pushback to the upside. Okay. So on the 1, similar deal. You got your just shy of a 618 retracement. Matching the extension is still higher. Okay. So this is just a pullback, right? Looking for at some point, see if this thing continues out and pushes back into that zone. Okay. So no play here on the CAD Swiss, right? We'll see if we're able to break these levels and continue pushing higher. Okay. So nothing doing there. Questions on the CAD Swiss?
Nope.
Cool deal. CAD yen. Man. So this one is still in between. It's still in between. Tomorrow will be interesting. So from a monthly time frame perspective, we're still waiting on a new AB boundary to form. Okay. Still waiting on a new AB boundary to form. We'll see if we're able to stay above this 107.251 level, or if we're going to close back below it. Right. We got Bank of Japan information coming out tomorrow as well. On the weekly, we're in an 80-20 scenario. Price might give us this double top at that 110.458, right? Shallow retracement, 118.127 zone. If we're able to close back below this 107.658, we could be in for more downside movement. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for on this one is, are we able to close back below this level, right? Give that push back down to the downside. Okay. So these lower levels, 97, 95 could come into play if we're able to start this push back to the downside. Okay. On the daily, we got a 382 already, but this is that double top look, right? You already got a new swing high on the daily. I think Benny touched on this the other day, right? But you got a swing high on the daily, confirm that weekly level. Now we want to see if we can close back below. Okay, close back below, we could see some more push, at least down to that 104. Okay, so that's the daily. Down on the 4, it's still choppy, right? This long back and forth here, we took back some of that candle. Now we're making our way back down to the downside, right? Off that 80-20 scenario. So we might get that push. Okay, back down to that 618 level, maybe even deeper. Okay, so still sitting out, still watching to see what this one does at this level, right? That's going to be key for us to follow. All right. Here on the 1, I ran a fib off the high. You did get a nice 618 retracement back into your zone, retest that level, and it's moving, right? The Fibonacci sequence, even though it's pretty erratic, right? It's still moving in the direction. You guys see that? Still moving in the direction. 618 retracement, matching the extension down here at that daily level, 104.611. Okay. Yeah. UJ looks similar. Right? So again, right, we want to get a nice close below this level, right? And that'll give me some insight on what to do next. So on this one, I'm still sitting and waiting. Okay. Questions on the CAD yen?
No.
Cool deal. Cool deal. Pound CAD. I didn't get a chance to look at this one earlier. Let's see. So pushing into some key levels. Right? Push right into this weekly level here. So we want to see, right? Do we break above, continue higher, or do we get a pullback? Do we get a pullback? Okay. From the weekly, from the daily time frame, sitting right in that 118, 127 zone, right? That push up got you into that 118 level, right? So now we want to see, does this hold for us? And then is price able to give us this? Okay. We'll wait and see. But these are key levels for us, right? That we got to pay attention to. On your 4, somewhat of a similar story. You got a 382 retracement here. Okay. Shallow retracement, pushed down, did get to that 382 level, pushed up. Now we'll see if this weekly level holds and if we're able to get back to this level for a double bottom, or if we get a push deeper. Okay. So if we get that swing high to form there, give us a level of resistance, right? We could be in for a move back down to the downside here. So I'm going to keep my eyes on this one pretty closely. Similar look on the 1, right? Got to that 382 level, but we're stalling in that 118, 127 zone. Okay. So I'm watching this one for a potential move back down to the downside, right? Use the cloud. Bang. You can watch the cloud, right? If you get your confirmations and a push back below this daily level, right? That could be an opportunity for us to play this back down to the downside. Okay, so I got my eyes on this one for potential retracement play. Questions on the pound CAD? You guys follow me on that thought process? Directional bias coming from the daily time frame with the 80-20. Questions? No? Okay. Cool deal. Let's take a look at the NZD CAD real quick. That one is on its way. Daily time frame, right? Just missed that 382 on the daily. Push down, just missed the D extension. And we reversed, pushing back to the upside now. Broke back above this key weekly level. Nice close above, right? Slight pullback on the lower time frame to try to retest that level. We'll see if we get some follow through and continuation above these levels here, right? This one will be interesting to watch and follow both commodity currencies. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as we push into these daily levels, but we haven't gotten that 382 off the daily time frame. Okay. So as we drop to the 4, let's see what we get. So here on the 4, $618 retracement, right? We didn't get to that 786 level. Just barely missed the D extension. Okay. So now we want to see how far to the upside we push. There we go. All right. It's a retracement phase. Retracement phase, right? Could we make, if we make our way above this little cluster here, right? We could be headed higher to ultimately get to that daily 382, right? We've got a ways away to go, right? We got these daily levels that we still got to break through. Okay. But retracement nonetheless. Okay. Whoops. We get to the 1. I want to look at this. Let's see. Oh, they come through. Okay, sweet. Right. So this is our active AB boundary here. Let me do this. There we go. On our 1. Oh, no, wasn't that level. My bad. 1 second. Here we go. There we are. So only one. This is your active AB boundary, right? And you're pushing deeper into that zone. Okay. So we'll watch this as we get to these daily levels here to see if we're able to stay inside this AB boundary, right? If we do, we could see if price turns over, stays below, we could see this push back down and give us a double bottom look here at 76,214, right? But if we break through those, we look for it to head higher, right? If then statement. So one thing I didn't talk about last night, as you're going through the training and as you get to developing the details of your trading plan, you want to make sure that you write your trading plan in if then statements. If price does this, then I will do this, right? Not I feel, not I think, not I want, right? But if price does this, then I will do this, right? Writing it in if then statements removes the emotion from the process, right? And you want to ensure that you're putting guardrails in to make sure that you remove the emotion from the process, right? So writing if then statements is the way that we like to write the trading plans to assist us in doing that. Okay, so just a note. So if price stays inside this AB boundary, stays below this daily level, right? Look for a short opportunity coming back down to the downside. If price breaks above, takes out the A, right, we'll turn our fib the other way and we'll look to play these levels to the upside. Okay. So that's the NZD CAD, looking for potentially more upward movement. We'll see if we're able to break through these daily levels. Okay. Questions on the NZD CAD? Nope.
No.
Cool deal, right? So as a quick cover of the Canadian dollar pairs, that's the movement that's there. The sub fib to the upside here on the 1 hour time frame, right? If we get price to hold here, 80-20 scenario, we could be in for at least a short-term play. Short-term play back down. Okay, so watch that sub fib opportunity. If it shows up, if your rules are met, it could be a short-term play back down to the downside for you. Okay, let's take a look at these euros in preparation for tomorrow. Okay, Euro Aussie. It's playing a fun game, right? We got a 382 off the daily time frame, pushing to this 50% level. Okay, now we're ranging. Came to the bottom of the range, pushed up, making our way back down, potentially back to the bottom of that range. Okay, so we get to the 4, right? And we boxed out that range and we talked about the potential opportunities here, right? If we push back down to the bottom of the range, right? See if we have the range play opportunity. All right, if we break out of the bottom of the range, look for price to continue lower, right? Or could push above, get to the D extension, because we already got a 382. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. We're still pushing sideways. So we want to look for one of those scenarios. We haven't gotten completely to the bottom of that range yet, right? Haven't gotten back to the top, haven't broken out to the bottom. Okay. So we're sitting tight here to see what price does. Okay. If the ECB comes in hawkish, start talking about quantitative tightening, right? Could see this D extension get hit and see price continue right to the upside, right? And give us a break of this daily level, potentially then get a retest, and then look for a continuation. Okay. So that's what we're looking for here. That one's just sitting sideways. Okay. On the 1 hour, we know we got an 80-20 scenario, but we're range bound right now, right? And we want to see what happens. If we do push back to the upside and break out of this range, we're going to hit that D extension on the 1, along with that D extension on the 4, right? And then we'll look to continue playing that to the upside, right? So that one's still sideways. Okay. Questions here?
There was a 5-minute play on that earlier. On
5
the
minute
five,
play.
on an 80-20 swing. If I
Run it
remember
off the
correctly,
high.
I believe. Yeah. Yeah, this is the Euro Aussie.
Yep. Oh, that's a 15. Sorry.
Yeah.
5. There we go. Bang.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's almost a target.
Almost a target, right? Regardless of the time frames, these fib levels play out. These sweet spots, they play out. Regardless of the time frame. Shallow retracement, take the cloud off. Shallow retracement, less than the 382, push down into the 118, 127 zone. It's on the move. $86 pips currently. The extension is another 30 pips or so away. All right. Beautiful setup. It was a great call on them, bro.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So now we'll see, right? Once we get to that 382, do we continue to track higher, break above, or do we get a high price and then come back down to the bottom of the range? Okay. Miss Cassandra, what's up?
Can you go back to your 4 hour? It looked like you had a weekly support in the 153.921.
Mm-hmm.
I have the daily levels, but I don't have that weekly level. And I went back to see where you pulled it. Let's see.
Previous weekly resistance level here.
Okay.
There's a resistance level here, support level here. So I added that back in. This is, I believe this is going to be a key level, right?
Okay.
So I added that in. Once you drop those smart support resistance, it wouldn't show, right?
Okay. No.
I added that one in manually because this has been a pretty strong level, right? When you get there, you get price to stick, right? If you break
Right.
out to the other side, you get price to stick. So I'm watching this to see if we're able to stay above this level to continue to press higher.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other questions on the Euro Aussie? Cool deal. Talked about the Euro CAD, Euro Swiss. Vinny touched on this one, right? So overall, it's our AB boundary on the daily time frame, tracking to the upside, right? Beautiful scenario. Okay, beautiful scenario. All right, so we're pushing. So now we're coming into this daily resistance level. Haven't gotten to the 382 yet, right? Shallow retracement, 118 and 127 zone. We've been pushing for quite some time. So now we want to see, do we get a retracement out of this and then a continuation, right? Or do we just start to break through these levels and continue pressing higher? Okay. So as we move down, your 4 hour look here, right? Is here. Okay. I had, so it was a crown pattern that also played out in this reversal, but just looking at the fib sequence here, right? We're looking to see as we push into this 118, 127 zone, if we're going to get price to turn over. Okay, so we're coming into this daily resistance. Do we continue to stay above this trend line, right? Hit that extension level, continue pressing, or do we pull back and start breaking trend lines? Okay, so we'll watch that closer to see what happens. Okay, you also had this crown pattern. Is that it? No, it wasn't. I apologize. It wasn't this one. My bad.
No, I think that was on another setup.
Another one. Okay. Yep.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're looking at this to the upside. Okay. Watching that to the upside. Right. So we'll see what happens when we get to these higher levels. Right. And we'll see what happens with the ECB tomorrow. Okay. On your one, similar story. Shallow retracement, push, trying to get into this 118 and 127 zone in this daily resistance level. We'll see what happens. Okay. We'll see what happens. But we could not get that deep retracement. We could continue pushing higher. Okay. So be prepared for that. Right. But if you're looking to trade the 80-20 here, right? Watch this support level, right? Coming into tomorrow morning, see if we get that bounce. Okay. That potential opportunity is there. Price is turning over now. Let's see if you get that push temporarily. And if the ECB comes out hawkish, we could get that price to turn over. Could potentially get it. Right. We'll see. We'll see. So watch this one, right? If this will meet your rules, if you get a nice trend line break, you could play that down at least to the 32 on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. What's where price currently is. Looking at 59 pips to that support level. Okay. Anybody take this already? And this to the downside? I know Benny talked about it this morning. Nobody? Okay. All right. So we shall see. We shall see. So what does it look like on the 15? Haven't gotten a cloud break yet on the 15, but could play that there as well. Okay. Let's see. Fresh AB boundary there, sitting at a 236 retracement on the 15-minute time frame. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see. Do we get another push up to that daily level and then push down? Or do we get this retracement now in preparation for the news coming on from the ECB tomorrow? Okay. So watch that one close. You could play this retracement to the downside and then look to get out, or sit tight, wait to see what the ECB has to say, and then we play them from there. Okay. Questions on the Euro Swiss?
No, sir.
Cool. Euro GBP. Haven't looked at this one in a while, guys. Because of the obvious. But coming into this daily support level, right? We push back down to it. We'll see if we hold and if we get a push back to the upside. Okay. On the 4, slow motion, right? Press back down. We'll see if we're able to stay above and give us a deeper retracement, potentially carry higher. Okay. Not much doing here. Yeah, not much doing here. If you're bearish on this one, right, in favor of the pound, you got a 618 retracement. Matching D extension is here, but you got that decision coming tomorrow, right? So if you end this to the downside, just be cautious. Be cautious. Protect your stop, right? Take some money off the table, and then see what happens tomorrow, right? But in my opinion, nothing doing here. easier pairs to trade for sure, right? Even to prepare to trade. Okay.
Hey Ryan.
Sir.
So I've got it mapped out, right? So you're on what you're on the 4? Yeah.
This is the one.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Mhm.
You can do it on the 1. You can do it on the 1 too. I've got a trend line drawn from the top. I've got the down fibs off of it because it's bouncing a little bit.
Yeah.
So I got a trend line going from the top. It actually will cover it, move it down a little bit.
Move it down the cover. Okay.
Yeah, over that so it works its way through the lowest point. There you go. Like that. So what I'm saying is I need a wave and I need to get above 88.67 to even think about taking that long.
88.67.
Right, which is that high, right above that high. Nope.
This one
Back one. Yep, that one there.
Yeah.
Was at 88.67. So because
I'm with that.
you're still within an AB boundary on the daily, right?
Yeah.
So and then I knew with definitely a lot of uncertainty in the UK, but I knew that hey, the euro might catch bid with the rate hike coming, and then depending on whether or not she takes a hawkish stance moving forward with the guidance. So I just kind of just left it there for now.
Okay. I'll follow you on that.
Yeah.
I'll follow you on that.
Yeah.
And that's a good level, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get above.
Get above and retest it.
Yeah.
Then we'll look to take it, back to some of those highs at 92.29 level, at least.
I'm with that thought process.
It can go either way. But that's how
for sure.
right. But since it had made a nice run to the other side, then it corrected, and then it tried to catch bid again, but then it turned back over with all the Bank of England intervention and everything.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out more what's going on with the UK. Still thinking potential long, but like I said, it's a toss up really. But that's how I had my chart marked up to see what'll come of it.
That's a good look. That's a good look for sure.
And then may retest that support. I mean, it's done it multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah.
It's done it multiple times. But I guess the gist of it is get me back above 88.67, right? For potential long. And if we break below that, what is that 85.72 area? If we break below that, then we're probably gonna continue short.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll follow you on that.
Yeah, it's got all type of madness going on.
Heck yeah. I'm with that. Whoops. Like so. All right. May enjoy not having it. I understand that too. So that's the Euro GBP, right? Got to break above this high, right? And give us some confirmation there. I dig it, Joy. I dig it. Any questions on the Euro GBP?
Here's the thing though, right? If it's range bound, if we get it to come back and retest, right, that'll be what is this level? Hold on. 85.63, something like that.
This support level here?
Yeah. If we retest that, then like you said, it's potential double bottom, maybe back bottom to the top of the range. If it holds, then if it holds at that level, if it pushes lower and it holds at that level, then I'm looking at a range play potentially. Because that'll be like a triple bottom if you look left. And you got past resistance becoming future support. So obviously it's trying to hold that. At that point, it'll be retesting that level again. And if it holds, then I'll probably try to, maybe try to catch a bid off the low there. But
I would actually like to see that more.
Yeah, me too. Now that I look at it, I'm zooming out on it like, man.
Yeah.
It keeps testing that level. It's moving, bit. The conditions for it to get range bound.
Yeah.
So you just, So either retest that level, for potential long off support, or like again, break above that 88.67 on that. Other than that, I'll leave it alone.
I'm missing this level here. No, I'm not. There it is. Okay. That's that level there. Got it. Yeah. I would definitely like to see it push down, maybe coming into the morning, price being lower. I don't know if it'll push that much tonight, but yeah, I follow you on that, man. I follow you on both of those. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. So that's the Euro GBP. Euro Yen still playing its game. Still playing its game. We got a fresh AB boundary, 236 retracement. That is 149 monthly resistance level coming in here. Okay. Excuse me. So we'll watch to see. The yens obviously are back and forth, and they'll continue to be. So this one will likely continue to follow the euro, right? So we'll be patient here, right? And we'll see if we're able to get. What I want to see is we got this daily level here, but I want to see if we're able to get above this 149.790. We get above this 149.790 in a nice bullish fashion. I'm going to look for this thing to continue to carry. Right. So if we come back to the monthly time frame, this is what we're coming into. Okay. Key level here. Right. So if the ECB is hawkish, we get above this level, we could see it continue to carry to 170. Okay. Got a lot of work to do that, but this is the level that I got my eyes on. Right. And come to the weekly. We see we just broke this this weekly level is here, right? Just broke this weekly level, pushed up, right? Try to stay below. If we close higher, right? That's another signal that we could be headed to that 149. Okay. So then we get back to the daily, right? And you understand what this looks like now. Okay. Next level, 170 is quite a ways away. I don't know. Let's see. Daily resistance. Yeah, we don't have any other daily levels in here. There we go. We got a couple. Let's drop these in real quick. Daily resistance there. There and there. Okay. Pull that out now. All right. We got these daily levels to contend with as price continues to move. If we break above that 149 level, right? So we'll see. But that's what I have my eyes on from a higher time frame perspective, is that 149 level. If we're not able to close above it, we could see a nice retracement happen. Back down to this date of 140 potentially, not far, but 140, and then that could be our catalyst to then extend higher. Okay, so looking for another push to the upside at least, and then we'll see what happens with the ECB tomorrow. So we come to the 4. And this is our fib on the 4. Okay, which is in line with that 149.791 level. We got a 382 on the 4, right? So we could get this D extension hit, get to that 149 level, then we might get a retracement happen. Okay. But if we close bullish above that level, it's off and running. Okay. Excuse me. Then on your one, you just got price bouncing. Okay. Just got price bouncing. So I'm watching this one more on the 4-hour time frame and off the daily time frame. Right. You know, that level of 149 is going to be key. Okay. Questions on the Euro Yen? What are your thoughts on this one, bro? You might have stepped away.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here. I was on mute. I don't know. It's a wait and see tomorrow. I need to see some more price action, especially after what happened with the yen. All those yen crosses got crazy. So
Yeah.
so it's a wait and see for me tomorrow.
Then we
Right?
got the
I'm
BOJ
looking
coming in tomorrow night too.
exactly. So I've got to set up the price action set up the same way. So I'm just kind of in the wait. I'm just gonna sit back and let it like with most of these yen crosses, let it tell me what it wants to do next, and then I'll set up the trade plan off of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool deal. Questions on the euro yen? Jerry said no. All right. Then we got the euro USD. Giving us a nice push.
Hey Ryan, let me ask a question to the group real quick, if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you guys like the 5-minute setups? It's the same thing. It's just faster, right? Joy, yes. It's just a faster setup. It's the same methodology though. It's the exact same thing.
Exact same.
Yeah, you're just getting your AB boundaries to set up faster. You know, that's it. That's it. And it doesn't seem so crazy and getting used to it looks similar to the 15. It does. I didn't see the comment before that one.
Jeremy said not due to his schedule.
I'll do to schedule. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jeremy. Like if you catch them coming into your phone and you set them up, it's not a you can still use limits, you can still use wider stops. As a matter of fact, if you use a wider stop, right, it isn't as large because it's on a 5-minute. So you still could play the same way. It's not you don't have to try to time the entry on these. You could play them the same way. So
same way. Yeah.
Yeah, you could play them the exact same way. You know, hey, I only played it, maybe I put my order in at the 127 and I put my stop at the D. Trade a smaller lot size based on that, right? Because we divide our risk by stop loss. But it's you still can set up the same way even if you're busy because it still takes a while. Like if you look at a lot of the euro pairs on the 5, it's taking time. It still takes time.
Yep.
Some of my setups were a little bit off, like the fibs. I don't know. Mine's look a little, especially like on GU. I think it was GU.
Your fit was off from where you ran it?
Yeah, my 5-minute didn't do an 80-20 on a 5.
Oh. Yeah, I have to go. I have to go. I always scroll. I scroll back real far back and run them to the current time. I try to be as accurate as possible with those. So I try to trail it back, and then I'll just come forward from there to try to get to the most up to date and most accurate fit.
Okay, all right. I'll go back. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But all right, appreciate it, Ryan.
Ain't no doubt, bro. That's a great question. It's good feedback. Good feedback. All right. So the euro USD, right? Get a nice retracement happening, right? Next level is 101,979. Okay. We'll see if we push back up into this level, right? Could get a pullback first, right? Come back to this 99.97. Retest that level that we just broke through, right? Nice resistance here. See if it forms for us as support. Sorry about that. See if it forms for us as support. And then see if we get that push. Okay. Is that retracement play? This is that retracement you sent earlier, right, Benny? 1 second, guys. EU on the Yeah, just been lingering, right? So we'll see, right? See if we get a
What's that
pullback
on your
retest that.
what's that on your dead? I keep talking with my mute on. My bad.
No, you're all good.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna get down to the 5, but yeah, I'm on the daily right
okay.
now. But looking at
Okay.
this retracement coming out of that
Yeah.
zone. Right.
Okay.
So here on the 4, broke above that level, right? This is that retracement. Come back, retest this level, and then see if we get another push with the ECB conversation, right? We'll see if that daily level holds, or if it push back up, get us a nice double top here, right at 103, right? But we got to break through this level first, which this is the level I have my eyes on initially. Okay, so we'll see what happens there on the 4, right? And get down to the 1. You got an 80-20 scenario happening here, right? And this was running the fibs off the low, right? We came here. So on the 1, you got an 80-20 scenario, shallow retracement, pushed into that 118, 127 zone. We may not get a deep retracement here. Okay, so just be aware of that. But when we get down to the 5, you'll see, right, this pullback coming back into the zone here at 99, and then we'll see if we get that push back up into that 101 level. Okay, so eyes there, and we'll come down to the 5, and this is that look, right? This is the setup that Benny sent earlier, AB boundary, right? Looking to see if we get price to break down. It's just been hovering. We broke back below the cloud. So if you use the cloud as confirmation, you got TK crossover, Kumo twist, lagging span broke through the cloud, right? Price is starting to move to the downside here. Okay. So this is that setup that Benny sent earlier. Okay. This daily level 99 coming in line with that 618 retracement level. Okay. The extension coming in line with this 101 level, right? In that zone. So this is that move down. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Above the high there is 25 pips. To the bottom is 69, 70. All right. Let's see something. The extension. Okay. So you can place your stop above the high like that. Whoops. Stop above the high, right? And look to play that short. Okay. If you're not in that already. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. Come back down and retest that level. And then see if we get that boost. Joy's in it to the downside. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Questions on the euro dollar. 5-minute setup or a higher time frame. Potential pushback to the upside. Right. So on the higher time frames, right? If you're not playing this move to the downside first, it's your break and retest. Break and retest. Break, retest, if it holds, bang, play to the upside. 200 pips. Okay. Miss Cassandra, what's up?
I was looking at your 4-hour. My B is sitting at 95352, and yours is, let's see,
Where'd you run the fib from?
let's see. Looks like back May 20, yeah. This up. Okay.
Let's
I follow
see,
your sequence and your thinking in terms of the entries. Yeah. So I'll back up and
Right.
redo mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
so this was the last fib sequence here, AB boundary,
Hmm.
right? And this A got taken out here. So you would have then had to start a new sequence coming from here.
Okay, around February 9th. Okay.
Yep.
I'll redo it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that puts you there. So the interesting thing on this, right? Before we wrap this thing up, is if we get this push into this daily level, right? 786 retracement. This line is you got a daily D extension down here, right? The spawn spot. Got a daily D extension right here, right? At 93,434. And you got a weekly D extension, this red line at 93,106. Right. So we got some confluence here with the extensions, right? So on the 4th, we do get this push into the 786 level, right? Right in line with the daily and weekly D extension as far as the extension levels, right? So that's another reason that I'm eyeing this level to see if we get price to hold there and then turn back over to the downside, right? So that's just some thoughts there. And even if we push to the 8.6 level, we still matching extension would still break that 96 level and take us down to that 93,121 zone. Okay, so that's why I have my eyes long term, right, at these levels, just looking for, right, that entry opportunity to get short at that high price. Okay, so that's why I'm eyeing this level here, and then see if we stay inside this AB boundary, potentially give us a double top at that 103,671 if price breaks this level first. Okay, so that's my thought process on that, right? Then as we get down to the 1, right, we'll just be flipping the fib and working our way back down. Okay. Questions on the euro dollar?
And I have a question, well, not a question, but looking at the dollar, right, and it already hit the 382. I guess my summary of, the reversal as opposed to it coming up to the daily level, So in the dollar, when you look at the dollar on the daily, it already hit the 382.
Dollar index.
Mhm. It's mine did on the daily.
I don't have a 382 here. So at the B boundary, I ran my fib off of this low here.
Oh, you went lower.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. I just kind of rub my fibs from the monthly and then I took.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's the double bottom. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So could see another push, right? Could see another push. That's my thought on that, right? So a lot of that could come into alignment there. Any questions before we wrap it up? Benny, any final thoughts, bro?
Great session, man. You covered a lot. You got to do a lot of pairs. That's always good when we can do that for sure. Other than that, right? Hey, you're welcome. We got the ECB tomorrow, so be cautious if you're in euro pairs and you're trading them. Use proper risk management. If you're in profit, manage your trade. Know what time that all the fireworks are supposed to happen, so you don't get caught by surprise. When it comes to what they may say, and always know, right? There's always a series of things. The rate is one thing, and then the press conference and the rate statement are two other things. So the market has the potential for the market to move back and forth a little bit. So just always be on alert for that. But other than that's it, man. See everybody tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, good people. Have a great evening. We'll see you in the morning. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.